Hi and welcome to my channel. I'm Sanjana and I make videos on art and craft, DIYs and decor and travel. Today's video is going to be about dot painting. I'll be using professional dotting tools, but don't worry, if you're trying this for the first time, anything which has a pointed or a rounded end will do the job. So you can use things like a earbud, the end of a pencil, the end of a paintbrush, and these things will work equally well and create an equally good result. If you enjoy watching this video or learn something new from it, don't forget to smash the like button, share this video with others who might like it as well, and please subscribe to my channel. Subscribing is the best way to show your support for my content, and it will help me turn my hobby into a source of income. With that, let's get started. These are the materials we'll be needing for today's project. 1. A canvas. I'm using an 8 by 8 inch canvas. You could do the same, or you could substitute it with a thick piece of paper. This is what is going to form the base for our mandala. 2. Acrylic paints. I'm using Montmartre acrylic paints. You also get them from Fevicryl or Camel or various other brands. You can use the one which is most readily available near you. 3. A geometry box. Primarily, we'll be needing the ruler, the compass and the protractor to draw out the guidelines for our mandala. 4. A palette. This is where you'll be squeezing out just the right amount of paint that you need to dip your dotting tools into. 5. Dotting tools. I'm using professional dotting tools like you can see in the picture here, but you can easily substitute this for things that you get at home like a earbud, a pen, a pencil, an empty refill, and so on. And 6. A wiping cloth. You'll need this to regularly wipe the tips of your dotting tools, because if you don't, your design will end up looking smudged and blotchy. The first step is to find the center of the canvas or the sheet on which we are working. This will ensure that our mandala is neither too much to the left nor too much to the right, and it will look perfectly symmetrical once the design is complete. Next comes the fun part of drawing concentric circles by placing the tip of the compass at the center of the canvas. This forms the basic guideline for any mandala pattern. And finally, I'm using my protractor to mark out points at equal intervals of 20 degrees, and then I'm connecting those points to the center of the canvas to draw a line and add a little more detail to my guideline. And there we go. After using the largest of the dotting tools to create the center of my design, I'm starting by using the finest of the tools which I have in my set for the innermost ring of dots. The dotting tools come in sets of 12 with their tip sizes ranging from 0.15 mm to 15 mm. I'm going from smallest to largest in terms of tip sizes while creating the circles of my design. I've chosen to make the design in shades of blue. So we have turquoise, cyan, cerulean blue, cobalt blue, ultramarine blue, and even the very difficult to pronounce phthalo blue. You could stick to blue or choose any color you like. Half of the dotting tools have pointed round ends, while the other half have flat circular bases. Now that I have gone through all the smaller sized tools which have pointed rounded ends, I'm starting with the larger ones which have the flat circular bases. There is no right or wrong way of drawing the guidelines for a mandala. You can draw the concentric circles as you wish, some closer together while others may be wider apart. In the circles which are closer together, you will be able to place small dots. whereas the circles which are wider apart will be able to have dots of larger sizes. So if you are creating a mandala with a predetermined pattern in your head, you might want to keep these points in mind. Otherwise, if you are creating the pattern as you go, like me, it really doesn't matter how your guidelines are created. My mandala was starting to look a bit too much like the sun, which is why I'm drawing the outline of petals with my pencil to give the design more of a floral look. What I'm doing here is referred to as walking the dots. Essentially, it means dipping your dotting tool in the paint one time and placing the first and the largest dot at the tip of our petal, and then continuing to use the same dotting tool to create the subsequent dots, which automatically come smaller and smaller because there's less paint at the tip of our tool with every dot that we place. Usually in dot painting, the practice is to wipe the tip of the tool with a cloth after every single dot which is placed on the canvas. This ensures that every dot is of equal size. But while walking the dots, we want that every dot is one size smaller than the previous dot which we've placed. And that is only possible if we do not wipe the tip of the tool with a cloth in between. The beauty of a mandala design lies in its details. No two mandalas are ever the same. The more intricately and uniquely you are able to fill in its blank spaces, the more beautiful the mandala looks once it is completed. Dot painting requires a lot of patience and is a very painstaking and time-taking activity. But your efforts will never go unrewarded. See how beautiful this mandala is looking now that we have filled in the details. But we are far from done yet. It's never too late to add concentric circles. You can keep expanding your design until you feel it's complete. The only thing you need to keep in mind is to expand it equally in all directions so that your final pattern looks balanced. I don't know about you, but I feel that adding this circle has given so much to this design. They say that dot painting is meditative, and right now, just looking at this design gives me a sense of satisfaction and peace. Dot painting, or any other art form for that matter, is all about balance. While I spoke about filling in the blank spaces earlier in this video, it is equally important to leave some white spaces in your design. We don't want our design to look too busy, and there is nothing worse than too many elements in a design. While I started out with blue, you may have noticed that I've introduced other colors like purple and grey into my design. Purples and greys blend very well with blue, while providing a slight contrast at the same time. You must be careful to choose shades that complement the existing colors and do not compete with them. Opting for colors around the same section of the color wheel is usually safe. Contrast is good too, but too much may make the design chaotic. So once again, balance is the key. The design looks complete, doesn't it? I do have this problem of not knowing where to stop. If the background had been black, for instance, I would have stopped right here. But since it is white, I felt I needed to fill in a few more details for my mandala to look complete. For those of you who like a lighter look, you can stop here. And for those who want a slightly more filled in look, here's what I did. Since I'm doing a mandala after more than a year, I do feel I am a bit rusty. But I'd say it's a good start. There will be many more to come in the following weeks, and I'm sure each will be better than before. And more importantly, each will be unique. Till then, try this out and subscribe to my channel for more inspiration. I'll see you in my next video. Lots of love.